Hi Curlies, it's Scarlett, the creator of Wonder Curl, and I am here today to talk to you about having different curl patterns on one head of hair. And if you just went natural or you've been natural for a long time, this is something that you have noticed and you're like, what the heck is going on? Why does this side of my head curl better than this side? Why is this part of my head thicker? Well, you're not going crazy. It's actually something that just about every curly goes through, and I've talked to a lot of different women with natural hair in my events, and we all pretty much nod in agreement like, yeah, yes. And to be honest, I don't know why. I assume that it's something that has to do with your genetics, and maybe somewhere along the lines you had like a great 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 grandfather from Ireland, and suddenly that gene wants to show up on your head just in this patch right here, and that's why like that patch isn't curling the same way as the other parts of your head. And that's my only explanation. I didn't do any research on it, so if you have, or you want to do research and you want to, comment some of the links, please do. I would love to get more information about it, and I probably will at some point look it up for myself. But anyway, so first, you may have noticed that I dyed my hair blonde. Yes, and I also had my stylist trim the sides down even lower. So, and this is kind of what really got me interested in creating a video to discuss the different curl patterns, because when she cut it really low, I saw how my hair grew, and it's kind of weird. And you can see in the front, this side goes back and this side kind of goes up and then back. I don't know if you can notice that. And I'm going to turn to the side, and you can see on this side my hair goes all the way back, all the way to the back. It's nice and neat. It works perfectly. And then, but this side is like a whole different story going on, and you can even notice back here that it's like it all meets and then it goes into this point. It's really weird. And that also kind of explains when my hair was longer, how this part of my hair always felt a little bit coarser than this side. And also when my stylist was cutting my hair, she explained that the left side of my head, the hair was thicker than on the right side. And now I can sort of see why, because it's just kind of growing all over the place. And something else is that the middle part right here tends to be the thickest and coarsest part of my hair, and a lot of other women have said similar situations with them, is that the center part is the thickest, the back, which we used to lovingly call our kitchens, remember those, when we relaxed our hair. I don't know where did this term come from, but and that usually ends up being the softest part of your head, right? You're thinking, wow, if only all of my hair could be like the back of my hair, because that tends to be the softest. It kind of curls a little bit better, or even I would say it's a lot looser. And some people it's even straight, like it doesn't even curl, and you have to do like a bantu knot or something to kind of get it all uniform. But I'm going to talk about that later on in the video. In the front, I've always noticed that my hair curled the best right in the front, and it's really it's a little frustrating, right? And so I'm going to tell you, like, fret not, because I'm not just going to talk about having different curl patterns. I am also going to tell you, like, some of the tricks that I did to make my hair all look more uniform, because I am and was a wash and go girl. And for me, it was just a lot easier than doing twist outs, braid outs, different types of looks. And especially because my hair ended up looking pretty much the same anyway. So it was like, but really, when you're working with your natural hair, it's always best or easiest to work with it while it's wet or damp. And I never liked stopping wet hair, so I always worked with my hair while it was damp. And from there, I would section my hair, and I always have my spray bottle handy for the parts that would get dry, because it seemed like your hair without product dried in like 2 minutes, but once you put the product in it, it took forever, right? So you always had your spray bottle of water available, and then you section your hair, and that's why you can then gauge how much product that you're going to need depending on the different texture of hair that you have. So the back of my hair, I always use a little bit less, especially of my Get Set hair jelly, because I didn't need as much. But in the center, I tended to use, I was a little bit heavy-handed with it, because I felt like I needed more to kind of get the curls to be defined and to clump better, because that part was a little bit more difficult. And then the front of my head always just seemed to curl just right, and I always use a little, different amounts for each side too, because the left side of my head seemed to curl easier, whereas the right side was always a bit fluffier, and that's why I always moved my part. So it's the same thing if you're going to do a twist out, because I've noticed that in some people's twist outs, the back of their hair would get frizzy faster than the rest of the hair. So the front of their hair would look great, but then the back would always be a little bit poofier and frizzier. So you always want to see, like, depending on how your hair looks, you might want to use more product in that section, more of a styler, really, something that's going to really help you to get a better hold. And that's my tip for you guys. And I know you all probably have the same issue with the different curl patterns, so please comment, and I will do my best to respond in an expedient manner. And so just so you know, the products that I have in my hair right now to get third day hair, and I also at night, just real quick, I clip my hair at night, and that's how I sleep to maintain the shape, using this little guy right here. This is like the best. Yeah, I have the Butter Than Love pudding and the Get Set hair jelly. I use a lot more of the jelly just so I can sculpt the hair. And then in the mornings, what I do is I just spritz the sides, and then I just put some pomade, my polishing pomade, on the side so that it can be softer, especially because when I sleep I don't use a satin pillowcase or a scarf, I know. So that keeps my hair from being too dry the next day. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you soon.